Imagine for a moment you're a scientist, maybe a researcher, or, just someone really curious, trying your best to stay on top of all the latest breakthroughs in your field.
Mm-hmm.
You're looking at this, literal mountain of papers, right? An endless flood of data. And there's that constant, relentless pressure to stay updated.
Yeah, it's overwhelming. It really can feel like trying to drink from a fire hose.
Yeah.
And that fire hose just keeps getting stronger, doesn't it?
Totally. But what if? What if there was a way to navigate all that? To distill the really important stuff, almost like having a superpowered assistant helping you out with every single step of the scientific journey.
Well, that's pretty much what we're diving into today.
Okay, let's unpack this then. So this whole idea of AI for research, that's what we're focusing on.
Exactly. And it's important to distinguish it, I think, from the term people might hear more often, which is AI for science.
Right. That usually makes me think of AI like actually doing the science in a lab, predicting protein structures, designing new molecules, that kind of thing.
Precisely. And that's a part of it, for sure. But AI for research is much broader. It's about AI doing research, the whole entire process.
The whole comprehensive journey.
Yeah, we're talking about AI supporting every single stage, from the moment you first read a paper all the way through designing an experiment, analyzing results, and even getting your findings written up and published.
Wow, okay, so the whole life cycle.
The whole life cycle. And what's really fascinating here, and it's kind of our guide for this deep dive, is this comprehensive survey paper. It's called AI for Research, a survey of artificial intelligence for scientific research. Chen and colleagues put it together.
Okay.
And what's great is how it provides this really structured taxonomy. It moves way beyond just focusing on discovery or data analysis. It maps out the entire research lifecycle, offering this, roadmap of how AI fits into every single part of it. It really helps us understand not just what AI can do, but where it fits into your workflow as a researcher.
Gotcha. So the mission today is?
Our mission is basically to pull out the key insights from this paper. We want to show you how AI is improving things, speeding things up, automating different aspects of research across all sorts of disciplines, and we'll do that by focusing on its 6 core capabilities as laid out in the paper.
Consider it a shortcut to getting really well informed on this pretty transformative field.
Exactly.
All right, let's dive in then. First core capability, AI for scientific comprehension. AI for SC, they call it. So picture this. You've got an AI that doesn't just read a super dense scientific paper, but actually understands it, truly gets the core concepts, figures out the complex jargon.
And then synthesizes all that information into something coherent, organized.
Without you having to wade through every single sentence yourself. That sounds pretty good.
It's all about making that knowledge acquisition process much, much faster and making automated analysis way more efficient for you, the researcher.
Okay. And the goal isn't just keywords, right?
No, definitely not. The main goal of AI for SC is to maximize scientific understanding. And you measure that by how coherent and complete the knowledge it extracts actually is.
Right. It's about depth.
It's about building a deep, sort of nuanced interpretation of the content. It's a huge step up from just doing a simple text search.
That difference is key. Okay, so within AI4SC, the first big area is textual scientific comprehension.
Right.
This is all about the AI's ability to really understand, interpret, and even critically evaluate scientific texts.
Think about it. Identifying the key concepts from, say, a really long discussion section. Grasping that incredibly complex, often field-specific terminology.
A jargon barrier.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then pulling all that disparate information together into a cohesive whole. We're talking about systems that don't just process words. They process the meaning behind those words in a scientific context.
And this breaks down a bit, right, based on automation levels?
It does. It starts with semi-automatic scientific comprehension.
Okay, semi-automatic. So the human is still involved?
Very much so. You, the human, are still in the driver's seat here. You provide a specific question.
Right.
And the AI then goes to work to give you really comprehensive, relevant answers, pulled from maybe a long scientific paper or even a whole collection of them.
So it's like a super smart research assistant for digging deeper.
Exactly. It's designed to enable that deeper understanding. And these human-guided systems are particularly interesting because they're built for collaboration.
Collaboration? How so?
Well, take an example like Lam AI. It's designed to actually engage in these iterative dialogues with you.
Okay.
So instead of just spitting out an answer, it might actually ask you clarifying questions first.
Really?
Yeah, to resolve any ambiguities it detects in your original query before it gives you a definitive response.
So it's not just answering, it's helping me figure out what I'm really asking.
Kind of, yeah. It acts like a very smart, inquisitive colleague, gently guiding you to maybe uncover latent questions or hidden assumptions you hadn't even realized you had.
That sounds incredibly useful, though maybe a bit more interactive than just getting an answer.
It definitely requires more human-AI interaction, no doubt. But the payoff is huge in terms of relevance, precision, and reducing misinterpretations.
Yeah.
You end up with a much clearer understanding of your own question and the topic.
Wow. Like having a brilliant colleague who just helps sharpen your focus. Okay, what else is under semi-automatic?
Then you have tool-augmented systems. This is crucial for when the LLM's internal knowledge, what it was trained on or its context window just isn't enough to answer your question fully.
So the AI knows what it doesn't know.
In a way, yes.
Yeah.
It's smart enough to recognize its own limitations and knows when it needs to call in outside help, basically. It invokes external tools.
Okay, like what kind of tools?
Well, a great example is a knowledge retrieval tool. It uses something called retrieval augmented generation. You might hear it called RAG.
RAG. Yeah, I've heard that term.
So instead of just relying on its memory, the AI intelligently searches vast external databases. Think PubMed or SFIC, the web, retrieves the relevant, up-to-date information, and then uses its language skills to synthesize that newly retrieved data into a comprehensive and accurate answer for you.
Gotcha. So it overcomes the stale data problem of just using the training set.
Exactly. It ensures the response is more complete, more accurate, and crucially, up-to-date. It's like the AI knowing when it needs to hit the digital library for the latest edition.
Okay, that makes sense. So that's semi-automatic. What about the next level?
That takes us to full automatic scientific comprehension. And this is, well, in many ways, it's the ultimate goal here.
The holy grail.
Kind of. AI systems that can read and understand scientific knowledge completely independently. No human questions needed, no continuous intervention.
So it just reads and understands on its own.
That's the idea. The ultimate aim is to fully automate the processing of massive amounts of scientific literature, to formulate and answer complex questions that might arise from that literature, and maybe even engage in some level of idea mining entirely on its own initiative.
Wow, how does that work?
Well, one powerful method is called summarization guided. Here, the LLMs autonomously generate summaries of articles to build up a comprehensive narrative or understanding.
Okay.
Imagine a system that uses multiple specialized AI agents. Maybe you have a summary agent grabbing the initial content and then a proofreading agent refining it.
Like a little AI rating team?
Pretty much. They collaborate to extract and polish experimental results, methods, findings, potentially leading to output that's almost like a peer review ready abstract.
That's impressive.
And this multi-agent approach helps the AI get a more holistic understanding of long texts by working through them iteratively. It also helps avoid biases that can creep in if you just process things linearly, token by token. You get a more accurate, complete picture of the paper's core message.
A massive leap in efficiency and actual understanding. What else is under full automatic?
Then there's self-questioning and self-reflection. This is really cool. The AI basically takes on the role of a very diligent student or researcher.
How so?
It generates and answers its own questions or reflections internally about the material it's reading. This helps it deepen its understanding.
So it's like the AI is studying for itself, asking itself questions and checking its own work.
That's a perfect analogy.
Yeah.
It's trying to really grasp the material conceptually, not just memorize facts. SciCog is a good example. It has a question generator and an answer evaluator working together to extract diverse research-level comprehension.
Right.
And this internal self-improvement loop is really crucial for strengthening the AI's reasoning and its conceptual grasp within scientific fields. It's studying for mastery, not just recall.
Which is key for enabling more complex stuff down the line, I imagine.
Absolutely. And finally, within AI4SC, we absolutely have to mention table and chart scientific comprehension.
Ah, yes. The visuals.
Exactly. This is the AI's ability to extract and interpret data from tables, graphs, charts, all those visual elements that are everywhere in scientific papers.
Yeah, so much critical info is packed into those.
Totally. Many, if not most, papers rely heavily on these visual data representations to convey their key findings. So for an AI to have true comprehension, to really grasp the full nuance of a scientific result.
It needs to understand the pictures, too, not just the words.
Precisely. It needs to make sense of that highly condensed, structured data they represent. It's not just about the text. It's the whole package.
Okay, that makes perfect sense. So AI can help us understand individual papers better. But what if I need the bigger picture? Like, I need to get up to speed on an entire field.
Well, that's where the next core capability comes in. AI for academic survey, or AI for AS.
AI for AS, okay.
So you've just comprehended a paper, maybe a few, but now you need to understand the whole landscape. AI for AS is like having this hyper-efficient research librarian who can instantly map out an entire academic domain for you. It synthesizes and structures lots of existing literature to give you that comprehensive, curated overview.
So moving from one tree to seeing the whole forest.
Exactly. And if you connect this to the bigger picture, this capability is just incredibly valuable. It helps you identify emerging trends, spot gaps in the research that nobody's tackled yet, even pinpoint the really key foundational papers within a huge field. For you, the researcher, it dramatically speeds up laying the groundwork for new research.
Makes your own work more rigorous because you know what's already out there.
Precisely. Ensures you have a solid understanding before you even start your own experiments. The main goal here is maximizing survey quality measured by relevance, coverage, both breadth and depth, and clarity, meaning coherence, abstraction, and how useful it actually is.
Okay. And how does it generate these surveys?
The main function within AI for AS is overview report generation. Basically, the automated creation of structured, coherent overview reports based on all the literature it retrieves.
Right.
It builds logically, maybe starting by mapping out the broad research landscape and then potentially drilling down to generate full document-level surveys. It takes all the scattered pieces and assembles them into a cohesive story.
And the first step in that is?
Often, it's research roadmap mapping. This is about cleaning up, integrating, and then visualizing the developmental path of a specific research topic, drawing from a massive body of literature.
So you can see how an idea evolved over time.
Exactly. Imagine seeing the entire journey of a scientific concept from its early stages right up to the cutting edge, all laid out clearly.
That would be amazing. Are there tools for this?
Oh yeah, they're getting quite sophisticated. You have systems that organize surveys into these hierarchical structures. There are interactive human AI frameworks like GHA, where you can actually refine the structure the LLM generates in real time.
Oh, cool. So you can guide it.
Yeah, making sure it aligns with what you need. There are even graph-based taxonomies designed for organizing truly huge amounts of literature in a scalable way.
And the benefit for me as a researcher?
You can systematically spot those emerging trends, find the unresolved gaps, identify future directions, all with a clarity and speed that was just impossible before. It's like getting that bird's eye view of the entire knowledge domain.
Seeing the forest and the trees. Got it. What's next in report generation?
Next, we narrow the focus a bit to section-level related work generation. This zeroes in on generating specific sections of a paper, most notably the related work section.
The dreaded related work section, always so time-consuming to write well.
Exactly. It's crucial, but yeah, challenging. Early methods for this were what we call extractive related work.
Extractive, so just pulling sentences.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
They'd select key sentences or phrases from relevant papers and then basically rewrite or combine them. A bit like a sophisticated copy, paste, and paraphrase.
Okay, kind of basic.
It was. But research has moved on quite a bit. Those systems got better at organization, at ordering sentences logically. Methods like ReWo started building topic trees to sequence sentences more coherently, making it flow better.
Right, but still based on existing sentences.
Mostly, yes. Which leads us to the more recent leap. Generative-related work.
Generative, so creating new text.
Exactly. These systems don't just structure citations. They actually create the cohesive, connecting text needed for entire related work sections. They're much more advanced.
How do they work?
Well, there are a few flavors. You have human-guided generation, where it incorporates your input, maybe keywords or a short abstract you wrote to focus the generation process.
So it knows what angle I'm taking.
Right. Then there's graph-guided generation, which cleverly uses the citation network, the relationships between papers, to improve the narrative flow and make sure the connections between cited works are logical.
Okay, using the citation graph itself. Smart.
Very smart.
Yeah.
And finally, there's model-guided generation, where the most advanced models just autonomously complete the task. They treat it like a complex summarization job, but with structured paragraphs. Some even use sophisticated linguistic theories, like rhetorical structure theory, to understand the logical connections and argumentative flow, much like a skilled human editor would. It shows this amazing evolution from just pulling text to actually composing a coherent, well-cited narrative.
That's a huge jump, from extraction to real composition. And the top level here.
The top level is document-level survey generation. This is about automating the creation of those full, systematic literature reviews. the kind that often get published as standalone papers themselves.
Automating the whole survey paper.
That's the goal. And we're seeing some really powerful examples emerge. Systems like AutoSurvey use keywords to guide the focus. Little L uses a kind of plan-based search, strategizing how to best find and synthesize information. SurveyX combines online retrieval with better pre-processing for stronger coherence. More advanced methods like Storm even use multi-agent dialogue. Different AIs collaborating and debating to refine the survey.
Multiple AIs arguing about a survey.
Essentially, yeah, to improve the final product. And importantly, researchers are now fine-tuning specific LMs just for survey generation, like BioSev for biology.
The relevance for researchers here seems massive.
Oh, it's huge. This moves beyond just understanding papers to actually creating comprehensive, potentially publishable literature reviews. It drastically cuts down on one of the most time-consuming, labor-intensive tasks in academia. Your role shifts from doing all the painstaking aggregation to providing the critical review and refinement.
Okay, this is where it starts to get really interesting for me. We've covered AI understanding papers, summarizing whole fields, but now we're moving into AI for scientific discovery, AI for SD.
Yes, this is where AI moves beyond just understanding and summarizing what we already know.
And starts generating and validating new stuff, novel hypotheses, new ideas, even conducting experiments.
Exactly. This is AI stepping up to become a true proactive partner in the actual act of discovery itself, pushing the boundaries.
Wow, okay. So what's the goal of AI for SD?
Goal is incredibly ambitious. It's to maximize the total quality of discovery.
Total discovery quality. How do you measure that?
It's measured by a few things. Novelty, how original is the discovery? Validity, is it experimentally and theoretically sound? Is it robust? And significance, what's the potential follow-up impact on the field?
Right. Is it actually important?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Ultimately, it's about enhancing our human ability to explore those uncharted scientific territories and dramatically accelerate the pace of innovation.
Okay, so where does discovery start? With ideas, right?
Absolutely. The very first step is ID mining. This is the generative part of AI for SD, where the AI actively mines for candidate ideas, surfacing new hypotheses or potential research directions.
How does it mine ideas?
It can do it in a few ways. It can mine ideas from its internal knowledge, basically by deeply exploring the connections within the vast knowledge bases it was trained on.
Okay.
It can also generate ideas from external signals by mining insights from real-world data, maybe sensor readings or observational data, things that might be too vast or subtle for humans to analyze alone. Or, and this is fascinating, it can come from team discussion. This could be human LLM collaboration, where the AI acts as your brainstorming partner.
Right.
Or even LLM collaboration, where multiple AIs essentially debate and generate ideas among themselves.
AI brainstorming sessions.
Yeah.
Cool.
Think of it like having an AI partner that can draw connections you might simply miss, maybe because the data is too huge, or the fields seem unrelated, or the patterns are just unexpected.
Yeah, I can see that.
This kind of cross-pollination of ideas, powered by AI's ability to process and connect massive amounts of information, is absolutely crucial for sparking real innovation.
Okay, so you've mined some ideas, now you need to know if they're any good, right? Are they actually novel? Significant?
Precisely. That's the next critical step: novelty and significance assessment. These are AI methods specifically designed to rigorously evaluate the originality and potential impact of those generated ideas, or even of existing papers you're reading.
How did this used to be done, or how is it done traditionally?
Well, traditional methods often involve models classifying or regressing novelty. For instance, systems like Sapphire quantify novelty in design problems by measuring textual similarity against vast archives of previous designs.
Okay.
Other approaches might use surprise as a metric, comparing a paper's word usage to a language model's general understanding of scientific language to see how unexpected or unique its concepts are.
Interesting. And how have LLMs changed this?
They've led to LLM-augmented methods for much better assessment. Take GraphEval. It's a lightweight graph-based LLM framework specifically for evaluating reasoning.
How does that work?
It breaks down complex reasoning into these distinct viewpoint nodes, allowing for a more detailed, granular assessment of an idea's logical strength and originality. But this also brings up a really important point. How do we balance AI's raw processing power with that essential human intuition for true, groundbreaking innovation?
Right. Can AI really judge groundbreaking?
Well, purely AI-driven assessments, if left unchecked, might accidentally overestimate creativity Or worse, lead to a kind of homogenization of ideas if they only learn to recognize existing patterns.
So we still need the human gut feeling.
Absolutely. That's why human-AI collaboration for novelty assessment is still seen as crucial. It ensures we don't just optimize for statistical novelty, but capture genuinely transformative insights.
Okay, so you have an idea, it seems novel, now what? You need to check if it actually holds up scientifically, right?
Exactly. Before you commit potentially huge resources to experiments, you need to rigorously evaluate the hypothesis against established scientific principles and existing knowledge. That's theory analysis.
Making sure the idea is sound.
Precisely. And a key part of this is scientific claim formalization.
Formalization, like putting it into math.
Sometimes, yeah. Or just into a very structured, unambiguous format. It's about converting those natural language assertions, which can be fuzzy, into structured, machine-readable representations that can be systematically checked for consistency and validity. This has evolved from early template-based methods to sophisticated LLMs that refine these templates with more nuance, and even multimodal LLMs integrating text and images for richer, more precise representations.
Okay, so you structure the claim, then you need evidence.
Right. Scientific evidence collection. This means systematically identifying, retrieving, and curating the most relevant data from papers, databases, experimental results that either supports or challenges that formalized claim.
And AI helps with finding that evidence.
Massively. Modern approaches integrate LLMs with advanced retrieval systems to boost accuracy and completeness. SciClaims, for example, is a system that combines claim extraction, evidence retrieval, and verification into one seamless LLM-powered pipeline.
Streamlining what used to be manual drudgery.
Exactly. Dramatically streamlining it.
Okay, claim formalized, evidence collected, now you analyze it.
Yes, that's scientific verification analysis. Assessing the logical coherence, the factual consistency, and the overall robustness of the claim against all the evidence you've gathered.
And are there challenges here for AI?
Definitely. One is that LLMs can sometimes inherit subtle cognitive biases from their training data, which might skew their interpretation.
Bias in the AI.
It's a constant concern. Solutions involve techniques like special sampling methods during inference to reduce implicit causal assumptions that the AI might make. Also, developing more transparent, human-like stepwise reasoning pipelines like HISS and Protocol so researchers can actually follow the AI's logic.
Making the black box less black.
Exactly. We're even seeing things like AI generating visual explanations, using animations to explain complex theorem proofs, making verification much more understandable.
Visual explanations.
Cool. Yeah.
And this leads into actual theorem proving.
It does. Theorem proving is a specific, very important part of theory analysis, especially in math-heavy fields. Here, AI models autonomously generate and verify formal mathematical proofs.
AI is a mathematician.
Pretty much. This is fundamental for validating foundational theories. Advances here are really stunning dynamic tree searches to explore proof possibilities, integration with retrieval systems for mathematical knowledge, models like Lego Prover pushing the boundaries on complex proofs, and crucially, human-AI collaboration tools like Lean Copilot are emerging, leveraging programming languages so humans can guide and refine AI-generated proofs.
So human and AI proving theorems together.
Yeah, and specialized LLMs fine-tuned just for theorem proving, like Mustard and DeepSeek Prover, are achieving near-expert levels. It's a rapidly advancing area.
Okay, this is all theoretical validation. But the really exciting part, maybe the most ambitious, is the actual doing of science, scientific experiment conduction.
This is the big one, yeah. AI designing, conducting, and analyzing scientific studies autonomously. The goal is automating the whole pipeline, from hypothesis right through to interpreting the data.
Putting AI in the lab coat, literally.
That's the vision. Though it's important to temper expectations slightly, the paper does highlight a critical challenge. Current AI scientists, despite huge progress, still generally lack the full, nuanced validation capabilities needed for truly rigorous, universally accepted experimentation and high-quality manuscript production that passes human peer review without any intervention.
So they're not quite ready to publish solo just yet.
Not quite independently, at least not universally.
Yeah.
But the progress in specific areas is still incredible. Take experiment design.
Right. Planning the experiment.
AI-driven strategies are using reinforcement learning to optimize robotic setups. LLM agents are generating detailed experimental plans, sometimes even through multi-agent debates, to refine the strategy and forecast outcomes.
Multi-agent debates about experimental design.
It helps make the plans more robust, Then there's pre-experiment estimation.
Predicting results before doing the experiment.
Yeah, exactly. And with sometimes startling accuracy. That DeepMind genome system we mentioned earlier.
GNOME, right. Material science.
Yeah. It predicted around 380,000 new, stable material structures. Think about the colossal time and resource savings for material scientists. Knowing which materials are likely stable before you even try to make them in the lab.
That's game-changing acceleration.
Totally. And this leads right into experiment management, often called self-driving laboratories.
Self-driving labs. Love it.
It's more than just single experiments. It's integrating machine learning, robotics, automation for high-throughput experimentation, and iterative refinement of procedures, ideally without constant human intervention.
Streamlining the whole lab workflow.
Precisely. There are sort of two main flavors here. Open-loop management,
Okay.
which involves experimental management, but maybe without continuous human oversight for every single step. Google DeepMind and BioNTech have an AI lab assistant that designs complex biochemical protocols and predicts outcomes. Reports suggest this could slash materials discovery timelines from decades down to months.
Decades to months.
Yeah. And then there's closed-loop management. This is the fully autonomous version.
The truly self-driving lab.
Right. A landmark example is the Functional Genomics Explorer. Reportedly, the first fully autonomous research platform that could generate hypotheses, design experiments, run them, and validate the results, all on its own.
Wow.
This kind of closed-loop system where the AI learns from its own results and adapts the next experiment is transforming workflows in chemistry, materials science, enabling truly self-iterating discovery cycles.
Okay, so managing the process. What about actually doing the experiments, experimental conduction?
Right. AI techniques executing and managing experiments to minimize human involvement. This includes automated machine learning experiment conduction AI, streamlining the design, training, evaluation of ML models themselves.
Freeing up data scientists.
Exactly. Multi-agent systems have even won medals in Kaggle competitions doing this. Or you have real-world simulated experiment conduction AI controlling robots in wet labs for precise tasks, or running incredibly complex virtual experiments and simulations without waste or risk.
Okay, experiments done, data collected, and now you need to understand it. Experimental analysis.
Yeah. AI systematically testing the hypotheses, evaluating the models, validating assumptions against the empirical data.
How does it help here?
Several ways. Automated evaluation metrics, like in AutoML platforms, automatically generate learning curves, sensitivity analyses, giving rapid insights. Theoretical consistency analysis uses tools like auto-reproduce with LLMs to check if the code used actually matches the theoretical methods described, catching subtle errors.
Ensuring reproducibility.
Crucial. And for just exploring raw data, exploratory analysis uses AI to sift through datasets with stats and visualization techniques, spotting patterns, anomalies, hidden relationships that humans might miss. LLMs are even getting specialized at parsing messy tabular data.
Okay. So when you put all these pieces of AI 4SD together, the idea mining, novelty check, theory analysis, experiment conduction and analysis,
You get
full automatic discovery. That's the integration, the end-to-end process. It's the peak potential of AI in scientific exploration, enabling these autonomous iterative cycles of generating, testing, and validating new knowledge, pushing the frontiers of science, potentially much faster. Okay, so let's say you've done it. You've used AI to help discover something new, run the experiments. Now, you got to write it up.
Yes. The part many researchers secretly dread, the writing.
Right. Translating that brilliant work into a clear, compelling, publishable manuscript. It's essential, but so painstaking.
But guess what?
Yeah.
AI is here to help with that too. That brings us to AI for academic writing, or AI for AW.
AI for AW, okay? AI is my writing assistant.
Exactly. Assisting you in generating, revising, formatting scientific manuscripts, aiming to boost both the quality and the efficiency.
And the goal isn't just grammatically correct.
No, it's more than that. The goal is maximizing writing quality and effectiveness. That's evaluated by consistency, readability, and crucially, compliance with specific publication standards, citation styles, figure formatting, everything.
Getting it ready for submission.
Making it polished, professional, ready for the world. And just like with comprehension, this breaks down into semi-automatic and full automatic approaches.
Let's start with semi-automatic academic writing. The human is still the main author.
Correct. You create the primary content, the core ideas. AI steps in to contribute supplementary elements, assisting with those tasks that are secondary to the main narrative but still incredibly time-consuming and critical.
Okay. Where can it help even before I start writing?
Yeah. Assistance during manuscript preparation, before you even draft a full sentence. AI can help prepare the manuscript structure.
Like outlining.
Exactly. Or helping with title formulation and optimization, crafting a title that's compelling and accurate. Guiding you on the logical flow, suggesting sections and subsections to maximize clarity. Getting the skeleton right up front saves huge revisions later.
Makes sense. What about when I'm actually writing? Assistance during manuscript writing.
This is where AI really shines as a collaborator. A huge area, often underestimated, is drawing figures and charts.
AI can draw my figures.
Astonishingly well, yes. It can generate scientific figures, complex diagrams, accurate captions directly from your textual descriptions, or even from raw data.
Seriously, from just text.
Yeah, models like Figen can map text descriptions to complex academic figures, molecular structures, experimental setups, you name it. Psychopenter can generate multiple caption options and quality check them. AI scientists can even pull key data from logs and integrate figures right into authoring tools.
That would save so much time fiddling with graphics software.
Immense amounts of time. And it helps you iterate on your visual arguments quickly, making complex findings clearer. It turns a laborious design task into just describing what you want.
Okay, what else? Formulas. That's always tedious.
Formula transcription. Absolutely. AI can now accurately digitize complex math formulas from handwritten notes, scans, images, directly into editable LaTeX code.
No more typing out LaTeX by hand.
Tools using advanced vision models like vision transformers are trained specifically for this, and iterative refinement frameworks can correct initial errors, minimizing manual checks. Huge boon for math-heavy fields.
Definitely. And the other big-time sink, citations.
Ah, yes. Citation recommendation and integration. Ensuring accuracy and completeness here is paramount, but it's a chore. AI helps retrieve and seamlessly incorporate relevant literature.
How?
Tools like Citebart can reconstruct citation markers. Scholar Copilot dynamically queries databases like PubMed or Google Scholar as you write to embed references in real time.
In real time. Wow.
Yeah, ensuring you cite the most current, relevant work. More advanced systems like PASA, a dedicated paper search agent, can autonomously invoke search tools, review papers, and select the best references, sometimes even outperforming humans using standard search engines for complex queries.
That tackles one of the most tedious, error-prone parts of writing.
Greatly reduces the risk of errors or missed citations.
Okay. What about after I've written the draft?
Assistance after manuscript completion. This is the polishing stage. AI helps with grammatical corrections, improving expression, even suggesting logical modifications to enhance clarity and flow.
Like super-powered grammar checkers.
Exactly, but often specifically tuned for scientific English. Think tools like Grammarly AI, PaperPal, Writeful, Overleaf Copilot. Many understand scientific jargon and conventions. They learn from huge datasets of academic text and revisions. And this assistance goes beyond just text. It even includes AI support for creating conference posters, assessing visual quality, and how well the content is conveyed. It's all about making sure your research is presented clearly, compellingly, professionally.
Right, polishing the final product. Now, the really futuristic part, full automatic academic writing.
The aspirational goal, yes. AI generating complete scientific manuscripts entirely without human intervention, from initial draft to final formatting, theoretically ready for submission.
Is this actually happening?
The approaches are mostly multi-agent, modular designs with self-feedback loops for refinement. The AI scientist system treats writing and reviewing as pipeline steps, simulating peer review internally to improve drafts. Agent Laboratory uses role-based AIs to simulate lab workflows and evaluate drafts against conference criteria, like NeuraPS.
So AI teams writing papers, have any actually been accepted?
Amazingly, yes. Some papers generated by these systems have reportedly passed human peer review. That's a stunning achievement.
But there's always a but.
But the source paper is careful to note that no system has yet fully eliminated the need for human editing, especially for complex nuances like getting citations absolutely perfect and contextually right and ensuring genuine originality and insightful interpretation that goes beyond just recombining existing knowledge.
So the human touch is still needed for that final layer of insight and accuracy.
For now, absolutely. Full automation is the dream. But human oversight remains crucial, especially for true novelty and correctness.
Okay, manuscript written, maybe with AI help, now goes to the gatekeepers. peer review.
The ultimate quality control. AI for academic peer reviewing, or AI for PR.
AI for PR. Peer review is crucial, absolutely essential for scientific integrity. But man, it can be slow, demanding.
Notoriously slow and demanding on volunteer reviewers, and sometimes subjective. AI is stepping in here too, aiming to make the process faster, fairer, and more effective for everyone involved.
Faster, fair, more effective peer review. Sign me up. What's the goal?
Simple. Maximize review quality and efficiency. Streamline a process often bottlenecked by delays and workload. Get groundbreaking research the attention it deserves faster, and let reviewers focus their precious time on the critical scientific insights, not administrative stuff.
Makes sense. Where does AI help first? Before the review even starts.
Exactly. Pre-review. This is AI assisting editors or conference track chairs with those vital preliminary tasks.
Like what?
Initial scoring or quality checks, identifying the right subject domain for a paper, and crucially, assigning the most appropriate reviewers. All essential for quality control and preventing conflicts of interest before a human reviewer even sees it.
Okay. And a big part of that is just handling the volume, right? Desk review.
Huge part. Manuscript submissions are surging globally. Editorial offices are swamped. AI-driven tools are now tackling this initial screening, acting as that first line of defense and efficiency.
Are publishers actually using this?
Extensively. Elsevier uses systems like eVise and Editorial Manager with keyword extraction and topic matching to route manuscripts. IE has Manuscript Central, Springer has SNAPP, Nature has its own AI triage tool. They're all using AI to manage the flood. Newer tools like Annotate GPT even generate preliminary annotations to help editors quickly grasp a paper's scope and quality.
Speeding up that initial assessment. Okay. Then you need to find reviewers. Reviewer matching.
Critically important. AI assigns manuscripts to experts whose knowledge truly aligns with the paper. The goal is multifaceted. Maximize review quality, ensure fairness and workload distribution, balance assignments across potentially thousands of papers and reviewers.
How has AI improved this?
It's evolved a lot. Early methods used complex math like integer programming. Now, more efficient systems embed papers and reviewer profiles in a shared topic space for rapid, intelligent matching. This is vital for huge conferences. Automated conflict of interest, COI detection, is also key AI flagging potential biases automatically. Algorithms like large conference matching, LCM, balance expertise, and reviewer load across thousands of papers.
And for tricky interdisciplinary papers.
AI can even form multidisciplinary reviewer teams, ensuring all facets of a complex paper get covered adequately.
Okay, paper assigned. Now we're in review. AI helping with the actual review report.
Yes. Generating or supporting the creation of review reports the scores, the written evaluations.
So peer review generation. AI writing reviews.
Assisting or, in some cases, autonomously generating them. But this is a complex area with some important caveats.
Like what?
Well, studies show LLMs sometimes prioritize technical correctness over true novelty. There are risks of misuse, potential score inflation if not designed carefully, maybe overconfident assessments.
So potential pitfalls.
Definitely. But solutions are being developed. Enhancing systems with more structured review templates, using deeper reasoning LLMs, iterative refinement with quality control loops, and multi-agent optimization looks really promising here.
Multiple AIs reviewing one paper.
Yeah, dividing the manuscript into modules, getting specialized feedback from different AI agents. This often leads to higher quality, more nuanced reviews than a single AI could produce. Systems like Cycle Researchers simulate iterative review rounds using reinforcement learning to get better over time.
Interesting. What about synthesizing multiple reviews? That's the editor's job, usually.
That's meta-review generation. AI synthesizing opinions from several reviewers into a single objective, comprehensive critique, balancing diverse viewpoints, maybe even conflicting ones.
How does AI handle conflicting reviews?
Advances include guiding the AI summarization, using structural cues from the reviews, focusing on key arguments, addressing argumentative structures, and even latent biases between reviewers. PeerArg uses a framework to model disagreements and reduce subjectivity. MetaWriter extracts key arguments and counterarguments. There are even systems now that automatically detect contradictions between review pairs.
Making the meta review more balanced and transparent.
Exactly. Aiming for a review that truly reflects the consensus or the reasoned disagreement among the reviewers.
Okay. Paper reviewed, maybe accepted, published. Is AI done?
Not necessarily. We move into the post-review stage. AI methods applied after publication. Assessing future impact, broadening dissemination.
Assessing impact, like predicting citations.
Yes, influence analysis. Predicting the future scholarly impact, usually measured by citation counts. helps gauge a paper's potential reach and longevity.
How's that done?
Early methods relied heavily on external stuff, author reputation, journal impact factor. Now, LLMs can directly infer innovativeness and potential impact from the paper's narrative. Systems can predict impact scores, even for brand new papers that haven't had time to get citations yet, tackling the cold start problem. Others identify which references are most likely to be cited in the future.
Predicting the future buzz. And the other part of post-review.
Promotion enhancement. This is AI automatically generating outreach materials to maximize visibility and dissemination.
Like what?
Think concise posters for conferences, accessible lay summaries for the public, engaging videos, even audio summaries of complex research papers.
Making the research accessible beyond academia.
Absolutely critical. Getting important findings to policymakers, industry, the public, ensuring groundbreaking work doesn't stay locked in journals. AI is your research publicist, basically.
Okay, we've covered the 6 core capabilities, but how widespread is this? Where is AI for research actually being applied?
That's a great question, and it raises the point. How broadly is AI truly impacting the scientific landscape? It's definitely not just theoretical anymore. It's driving real breakthroughs across incredibly diverse fields. Beyond those core capabilities, AI is being applied across a vast array of disciplines.
Let's start with the big ones. AI for natural science research, foundational sciences.
Right. This covers physics, biology, chemistry.
Okay, AI for physics research. What's happening there?
AI is becoming indispensable, not just for data analysis, but for developing new methods, making fundamental discoveries.
Like what?
Well, physical world simulation. AI models simulating complex systems, but crucially, enforcing consistency with known physical laws.
So the simulations obey physics.
Exactly. Think physics-informed neural networks, PINNs, or Hamiltonian and Lagrangian neural networks. They respect principles like energy conservation, leading to incredibly accurate simulations of fluids, quantum systems, you name it.
Wow, and discovering laws.
Yeah, automated law discovery. LLMs generating, testing, refining physical laws directly from experimental data. AI Newton, autonomously derive Newton's laws without being given the equations. LLM Feynman extracted interpretable expressions for physical laws. AI discovering principles, not just modeling data.
That's mind-blowing. Okay, moving to AI for biology and medical research, this feels like a huge area.
Massive and incredibly impactful, revolutionizing drug discovery, diagnostics, our basic understanding of life.
The big example everyone knows is protein folding, right?
Absolutely. Protein discovery and structure prediction. AI predicting the 3D atomic structures from amino acid sequences. AlphaFold 2 hit atomic level precision, transforming structural biology and drug design.
And AlphaFold 3
builds on it, using diffusion models, predicting monomer structures, even complex interactions between proteins and DNA or drugs, with near experimental accuracy. But it goes way beyond proteins.
Like what?
AI is accelerating entire drug discovery pipelines, optimizing lab workflows, boosting diagnostic accuracy in medical imaging, like spotting cancer, advancing precision medicine by tailoring treatments to individuals. It's reshaping medicine across the board.
And AI for chemistry and materials research. We mentioned genome.
Right. That prediction of 380,000 stable material structures, more than all previously known. It just shows the immense potential for accelerating materials discovery, finding new catalysts, designing better drugs by pre-validating countless molecular combinations, slashing development times dramatically.
Changing how we create new substances. Okay, natural science is covered. What about AI for applied science and engineering research? Turning science into tech.
Right. Fields that build things based on those principles.
A key area must be software, right? AI for software engineering.
Absolutely. Applying AI to automate software development tasks, enhance code quality, boost developer productivity.
Like AI writing code.
Yes, code generation. Models generating executable code from natural language descriptions. Think Codex powering GitHub Copilot, or CodeGen making programming more accessible. You describe it, AI writes it.
Amazing. Is it doing more than just writing snippets?
It's moving towards end-to-end software development. AI automating multiple stages, requirements gathering, design, coding, debugging, deployment. HyperAgent is a multi-agent system mimicking human developers across tasks. ChatDev uses a chat-based approach to simulate the whole process, even including explainable automated debugging.
AI taking over software development?
Assisting massively, automating huge chunks of it, certainly.
Okay. Now, a different direction. AI for social science research. Using AI to study human behavior in societies. That sounds complex.
It is complex, but fascinating. Leveraging AI to design, run, analyze social science experiments, which often involve intricate human interactions.
Let's start with AI for sociology research. How's AI used there?
using machine learning, NLP, multi-agent systems to simulate, analyze, explore complex social phenomena, both individual interactions and societal trends.
Examples.
AI-assisted experimental and interview studies, combining causal models with LLMs to generate and test social science hypotheses, predicting negotiation outcomes maybe. Mimitalk is an automated interview system shown to be comparable to human interviewers for some tasks.
Scalable data collection. What about bigger phenomena?
Large-scale simulation of social phenomena. AI analyzing huge data sets to map cultural practices across geography and time, or using multi-agent LLMs to simulate cultural evolution, seeing how norms spread and change in virtual communities.
Understanding society through simulation. But you mentioned limitations earlier for social science?
Yes, it's important to remember them. While strong in natural sciences, LLMs still face challenges here. Manning et al. Found they struggle to reliably predict the magnitude of effects, even if they get the direction right.
So they know X affects Y, but not by how much?
Often, yes. Luke et al. Noted challenges with treatment effect, heterogeneity, how interventions impact different groups differently, and potential biases in predicting nuanced social outcomes. Their predictive power for novel empirical patterns in human behavior is still an active research area. Need careful interpretation.
Got it. Use with caution. What about AI for psychology research?
Leveraging AI for designing, implementing, validating psych experiments, and also developing new therapeutic interventions.
How does it help with experiments?
Experiment workflow automation and simulation. The RAISE pipeline automates generating visual stimuli, saving tons of time. Fully automated online RCTs have replicated classic psych hypotheses, showing AI can conduct rigorous, scalable research. GPT-4 has even simulated human responses in experiments, reproducing many known effects, though with some unexpected outcomes too, highlighting the need for caution.
Simulating human subjects. Interesting, but tricky. What about trust if AI interacts with people?
Critical area. Human AI trust and safety design, researching how to build and maintain trust, ensure safety, especially when AI is used in interventions.
How?
Developing frameworks, considering the human, the AI, the context. Identifying factors influencing trust. Taxonomies of risky AI behaviors and potential negative psychological impacts are being built, leading to safety guidelines. Making AI reliable, understandable, safe for interaction.
And actual therapy, psychological interventions.
Yes. AI-driven chatbots providing scalable, cost-effective psychological support, addressing the huge global need for mental health care.
Are they effective?
Some studies show promise. Therabot showed reductions in clinical symptoms. Friend chatbot's efficacy was found comparable to face-to-face therapy in some cases. It highlights the potential for generative AI to enhance accessibility, especially where human therapists are scarce.
AI therapists.
Plus, LLMs are getting incredibly good at generating emotionally resonant narratives, even passing Turing tests, showing their broader potential for supporting well-being.
Okay, so AI is everywhere in research. Across all these fields, we've seen it revolutionize comprehension, surveying, discovery, writing, peer review. It's clearly not just a tool anymore, it's an evolving partner. But what's next? Where are the big challenges, the frontiers?
Exactly. That brings us to the exciting but also challenging frontiers and future directions in AI for research. These are the critical areas needing development, the persistent hurdles we need to overcome as AI gets even more deeply integrated.
First up, interdisciplinary AI models, going beyond single fields.
Yes. Developing general-purpose AI systems that can seamlessly integrate and apply knowledge from multiple distinct fields, simultaneously biology, physics, social sciences, engineering, breaking down those traditional disciplinary silos.
How do you build such a thing?
Key directions include foundation models, those massive models pre-trained on diverse data, then fine-tuned for tasks across domains. And graph models, which naturally handle relational data, enabling knowledge flow between fields, like using medical ontologies for better text classification or drug discovery.
Seems powerful but challenging.
Hugely challenging. One issue is heterogeneous interdisciplinary data. You've got sensor signals, text, images, genomes, all with different scales, noise levels, missing data. Unifying and integrating that is a monumental task.
And getting knowledge to transfer between fields.
That's the other big one. Cross-domain knowledge transfer. Extracting relevant info from physics to apply in biology, say, without negative transfer, where it actually hurts performance. And doing it reliably, interpretably, that's a major open problem.
Okay. Next frontier, ethics and safety in AI for research. Always crucial.
Absolutely critical. As AI gets more integrated, complex ethical questions arise. Fairness, bias, potential misuse.
Examples.
Well, AI tools might inadvertently disadvantage authors writing in low-resource languages, creating accessibility barriers. There's the potential for manipulating peer review using AI. In data analysis, AI might oversimplify findings, falling into dichotomous mania, just saying significant or not.
How do we mitigate these risks?
Several strategies. Fairness-aware training, building fairness constraints into models, training for debiasing, correcting biases without costly retraining, and establishing clear ethical frameworks and guidelines, plus robust monitoring.
But there are deeper challenges.
Yes, the inherent tension in balancing performance and fairness. Often, maximizing accuracy can worsen bias and vice versa. It's a delicate trade-off.
And plagiarism, with AI generating so much text.
A very real concern. Avoiding AI plagiarism. The risk of a plagiarism singularity where originality is diminished because ln of text becomes so common raises huge ethical and copyright issues. We're already seeing sophisticated AI plagiarism, making detection and clear guidelines urgent.
Right. Okay, next frontier. Collaborative AI for research. Humans and AI or multiple AIs working together on big projects.
Exactly. Advancing multi-agent systems and human-AI collaboration for large-scale, complex research beyond what individuals can do alone.
What makes this hard?
Interaction complexity. Misunderstandings, inefficiencies, coordination errors between different AIs or between AIs and humans. Also the tension between data privacy and accessibility. Strict anonymization needed for privacy can reduce data quality, while different access permissions hinder the distributed training needed for these large collaborations.
Tricky balancing acts. And for trust, we need explainability and transparency of AI for research.
Absolutely vital. Researchers need to trace how AI reaches conclusions, especially in high-stakes science. Understanding the why.
How do we achieve that?
White box analysis, investigating the model's internal structure, linking neural circuits to concepts. Or black box analysis, interpreting models without seeing inside, by examining reasoning paths and overall behavior.
But explainability is hard, right?
Very. There's a lack of standardized frameworks, making comparisons difficult. And the persistent transparency performance trade-off. The best performing models are often the least transparent black boxes, while easier to understand models might lag in capability. This complicates adoption as an AI discovery real insight or just a complex pattern.
Okay, another frontier. Dynamic and real-time optimized scientific experimentation. AI adjusting experiments on the fly.
Yes. Going beyond design to automatically adjusting protocols in real time, analyzing data immediately to enhance efficiency and accelerate innovation in a continuous feedback loop.
How's this being developed?
Through agentic real-time AI autonomous agents, optimizing research with reasoning and planning, learning from live experimental feedback, and improving coordination in self-driving laboratories, those closed-loop systems managing every stage automatically.
What are the hurdles to making this reliable?
Reliable integration of heterogeneous devices and AI systems. Labs have diverse equipment. Ensuring compatibility, robustness, low latency is crucial to avoid errors mid-experiment. And low latency decision-making and dynamic optimization. The AI needs to process data streams instantly, update models, adjust protocols safely and robustly, computationally very demanding.
Makes sense. And with all this diverse data, text, figures, signals, we need multimodal integration in AI for research.
Key for unlocking the full potential, combining all data types for a complete picture.
Strategies.
Rigorous multi-source data ingestion with tailored pre-processing for each modality, OCR for figures, noise filtering for sensors, and interactive human-in-the-loop refinement, integrating expert feedback to fine-tune outputs and build trust, especially for complex cross-modal insights. The big challenge. Scarcity of good cross-modal datasets to train on.
Right. Finally, the last frontier mentioned, multilingual integration in AI for research, breaking down language barriers in science.
Crucial for global collaboration, integrating literature, datasets, expertise across languages. And this raises that important question for you, the listener. How do we ensure cutting-edge research isn't bottlenecked by language when so much vital work happens in diverse linguistic communities?
Because if AI tools only work well in English?
Exactly. It reinforces information silos, widens the knowledge divide. Strategies include alignment of scientific terminology, ensuring consistent terms and meaning across languages, and equilibrating multilingual performance, boosting AI's ability in low-resource languages, not just high-resource ones.
What are the core challenges?
Balancing capacity and coverage, how to support deep research capabilities and broad multilingualism with finite resources. And the complex task of analysis of cross-lingual academic rhetorical fidelity, preserving not just meaning, but logical structure, persuasive style, academic conventions during translation, much harder than word for word.
Okay, so wrapping this all up, what does it mean for you, the listener, the researcher, the curious mind? We've seen AI is fundamentally changing things.
It really is. It's no longer just a supporting act. It's becoming a lead performer, transforming how we comprehend, survey, discover, write, even review research. It's woven into the whole fabric of scientific inquiry.
Evolving from just a tool to a dynamic partner, boosting efficiency, performance, innovation capacity.
But, as the paper highlights, while AI automates so much, especially content generation, that critical human touch for true novelty and rigorous validation remains vital.
Yeah.
Think about writing no system fully eliminates the need for human editing yet, especially for perfect citations and ensuring real insight.
Which raises that big question you mentioned.
Exactly. As AI gets more capable, taking over more laborious tasks, how do our roles as human researchers evolve? Do we become primarily idea architects, focusing on where human intuition, creativity, ethical judgment are irreplaceable?
It really leaves you wondering, doesn't it? Is the future one where AI does the heavy lifting, freeing us humans for bigger, bolder, more creative questions?
Right.
Or will that line between human and AI contribution get blurrier and blurrier, maybe creating new challenges around attribution and originality if AI writing becomes indistinguishable? Definitely something for you to mull over as you dive into your own research.